Hey, all you cyberpunks and retro nerds. Tommy the Hammer here, hanging out with my good buddy, the dreaded Drunken Gamer.
What's going on, Internet?
And today, we are going to be reviewing a classic cult comedy bowling movie
called The
Kingpin.
Big Lebowski. What? Not Kingpin.
The fuck, dude? Okay, guys, since we can't watch both movies at the same time, we're going to start with Kingpin and give our review after the film. But for now, why don't you guys go ahead and check out the trailer for educational and historical purposes.
From the idiots that brung you Dumb and Dumber.
You wouldn't happen to have a Phillips head screwdriver, would you?
He's the man with the rubber hand.
Oh, creepy.
He's the Amish kid with the golden arm.
Whoa! You could be a champion.
I'm just not interested.
You suck!
Now, these two pinheads will teach each other
You just feel it.
about life in the fast lane.
You're about to embark on a great adventure.
Does anyone else want one?
No, I'll take a couple jugs. Mug.
Woody Harrelson.
What have you been doing all these years?
Drinking.
Randy Quaid.
This is pretty good fun for only $2.99 a minute.
Vanessa Angel.
Get your hands off me!
And Big Bad Bill Murray. On July 26th.
Watch the door.
Get your mind in the gutter.
I will pay you $1 million to sleep with your friend here.
Okay, guys, we just got done watching the movie Kingpin, and it was just as awesome as I remember it being. This is a hysterical movie, and it's, you know, it was very important to me as a teenager. I mean, for some reason, this movie just struck me as hilarious. It was very edgy.
Raunchy yet thoughtful movies were really good in our teenage years. So
yeah.
This is definitely quintessential as we were growing up.
Oh, yeah. I remember watching this many a times with Dean back in the day, and a lot of my other friends...
Watch out, there's a big shit cloud coming.
Exactly. This movie's just so quote-worthy. I mean, to this very day, it kind of holds up in my opinion. And all the actors are amazing. I mean, Woody Harrelson, Randy Quaid, Bill Murray. Everyone just kind of like takes their character and just exceeds it to the next level. And as you're watching it, you're just like, even though that some of these people are doing terrible things, they're awful people, I don't know. You just kind of want to keep watching them do their thing.
So comedic and slapstick, and it's like almost like a live-action cartoon.
Yeah.
It's like they almost pay homage to the Three Stooges in a way, because they have such physical comedy going on. Like, they're just always kicking each other's ass.
There's a lot going on in this movie, and it came out in the mid-'90s, and the version that we watched was actually the extended R-rated cut. And whereas, to me, like, not a lot of it was changed. There was a lot of scenes that I didn't remember. But overall, I could see why this could be considered R-rated after all is said and done. There is a lot of raunchy jokes, a lot of physical comedy. And, you know, overall, though, I think it holds up. I mean, like, the mid-'90s and 2016, I mean, I was still cracking up over here. So, like, honestly, like, it's still hilarious. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I was laughing like crazy the whole time.
But overall, I mean, I don't know. Like, what'd you think of it, Dean? Like, I mean, out of 10 stars, what would you give it?
I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 because this is one of my favorite comedies of all time.
That's a good review, man. Like, I have to agree. Like, I'm going to have to give it around... you know what? I'm going to just go there and just give it like a 9 out of 10. Mainly because, like, in terms of bowling comedy movies, like, you know,
since there's only 2 that I can think of.
Right? Yeah, I mean, out of 10 stars, I got to give this one 9 out of 10. It is a classic 90s comedy movie, and I highly recommend this one.
Well, we're going to get right into it. Next, we're going to be watching The Big Lebowski, and again, cult classic, like, so quotable. Like, I've been with friends where we can just go back and forth and quote the whole damn movie. Like, it's near and dear to my heart, which is funny because not so much for Tom.
In strict contrast, I was never a huge fan of this movie, but, honestly, like, I haven't seen it in such a long time that I actually can't wait to watch this because it's, for Kingpin, it's almost been about 5 years since I've seen it. But for The Big Lebowski, I'm almost going on a fucking decade here. So, like, who knows? Maybe it might strike me differently. While we check out the film, why don't you guys check out the trailer to The Big Lebowski, and when we come back, you'll have our review for this movie, too. So, stick around, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Wait, let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude. That or his dudeness or Duder or, El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Are you employed, Mr. Lebowski?
Employed?
Not sex, Mr. Lebowski.
Is this your only ID? You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude.
Your name's Lebowski.
John Lebowski, the other Lebowski, the millionaire.
I received this ransom note this morning.
This is a bummer, man.
They want you to take the money and act as courier.
What do you mean, man? What the hell is this?
My dirty undies, dude. The white.
Let's take that hell!
Why should we settle for 20 grand when we can keep the entire million?
I know you're mixed up in all this.
Playing one side against the other in bed with everybody.
Blow on them.
Huh?
Fabulous stuff.
Who's sitting on $1 million?
We want some money.
Sitting in the trunk of our car.
Where's my damn money?
Say, dude, where is your car?
Who's got your undies, Walter?
This is a very complicated case, Maud. A lot of ins, a lot of outs.
Is this your homework, Larry?
And I would like my undies back.
A lot of strands to keep in my head, man.
Bro! Hey, careful, man. There's a beverage here, huh?
I like your style, dude.
I have no choice but to tell these bums to do whatever is necessary to recover their money from you.
They were Nazis, dude?
They were nihilists, man. They kept saying they believed in nothing.
Better run through the jungle. Better run through the jungle.
You figured, here's a loser, a deadbeat.
Well, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
You cannot drag this negative energy into the tournament.
Jeffrey,
On.
love me.
That's my robe.
I'm throwing rocks tonight.
It don't matter, Regina.
This could be a lot more complex. I mean, it's not just, it might not be just such a simple, Yeah, man, it really tied the room together.
So this was a valued,
Tied the room together, dude?
My rug.
Were you listening to the dude's story, Donnie?
What?
Were you listening to the dude's story?
I was rolling.
So you have no frame of reference here, Donnie. You're like a child who wanders into the middle of a movie and wants to know...
Walter,
Hey, how's it going, guys? What you watching?
What, dude? We didn't tell you we're filming this Big Lebowski review?
Adam, you're out of your element.
This is
The dude's rug.
Donnie, you're out of your element, dude.
Okay, guys, so we just got done watching The Big Lebowski, and I'm sure both my boys have got some opinions to express on the movie, but me personally, I think my opinion on the film is relatively the same. It really just doesn't draw me in necessarily. It's not a bad film by any stretch of means. It's a great movie. The Coen brothers are amazing directors. I love Jeff Bridges. I love Steve Buscemi. I love everyone involved. It's a great movie, but for some reason it just doesn't speak to me. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but
Doesn't speak to it.
it's just how I feel. And I'm sure Dean's got...
What?
I'm sure Dean's got an opinion on it as well, so go ahead, Dean.
I love The Big Lebowski. I saw it in theater. It was amazing then. It's amazing now. so quotable. Like, I think what Tom was saying earlier while we were watching, it's kind of a character study where you really have to be drawn in by the characters. And if you hadn't noticed, like, we're kind of the archetypes in the movie. I really enjoy the film. It's a lot different than Kingpin, obviously. Like, Kingpin is just, like I said, 1-2 punch with jokes. It'll just knock your ass out with jokes. But the Big Lebowski, it'll take you on an adventure. Like, if you're willing to go on it, it'll take you to nice places.
And you, Adam, what do you feel about the Big Lebowski?
Oh, I love this movie. I mean, it's very understandable why it has such a huge cult following like it does. I mean, it's probably the Coen brothers' most kind of zany, off-the-wall picture, and this is the Coen brothers, so they kind of specialize in that sort of thing. But in terms of, like, pure humor, I mean, it's very, like, you know, kind of abstract type of humor. It's, like, much different from, like, you know, the Farrelly brothers and Kingpin and all that, which is more like gross-out humor. But still, it works. I mean, the plot is, you know, it's almost sort of nonsensical, and, like, but it works brilliantly, because, and you kind of figure it out after a while that it's almost kind of like an involuntary detective novel, because, like, you know, Jeff Bridges' character, the dude, is trying to kind of piece things together in his own, you know, bumbling way.
I mean, personally speaking, I mean, after all these years, I mean, I hadn't seen it since the mid-'90s, and back then, I wasn't really impressed. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I just kind of, like, lumped it into the same category as Boondock Saints or Donnie Darko or any of those other really popular cult movies that just for some reason doesn't speak to me. I can't explain it. There's a distance between me and this movie.
And can I jump in real quick? Like, actually, the thing about it is it's a movie that, you know, it works really well, you know, if you know, kind of go back and watch it a second time. Because sometimes if you watch it for the very first time, you might not.
Earlier, when we were, like, brainstorming about how we were going to do things, we realized that we were watching a Farrelly Brothers movie and a Coen Brothers movie. Right. So not only do we have classic cult comedy bowling movies,
right?
But they're both made by brothers, and that kind of blew our minds.
It's a weird sort of synchronicity.
Stars, honestly speaking, I got to give it a 7. That's just me. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I love the Coen Brothers. Jeff Bridges is one of the finest actors I've ever seen in films. I love watching him in movies. And in this movie, The Big Lebowski, I gotta admit, like, he's fantastic in this movie. His character is just engaging.
He's become famous for it.
Yeah, it's just a shame that for some reason this movie just doesn't speak to me. And it's okay, because he's in a ton of other movies that just reach out to people, because he's an amazing actor. So out of 10 stars, I give it 7. So, Dean?
Personally, I give it 9 out of 10.
Oh, snap.
I mean, it's no Back to the Future. It's no Ghostbusters. But I give it 9 out of 10. And when I give ratings, like, I'm not trying to just, like, poop my pants about every movie here. Like I said, like, you know, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, a couple of my favorite movies of all time. This is up there. This is a 9 out of 10 for me.
Douglas?
Adam?
I'd have to agree. I mean, this movie may not speak to Tom, but it speaks to me. It speaks to Dean. I give it 9 out of 10. I mean, it's a classic. I mean, it's a brilliant film. If you wanted to introduce somebody to the Coen Brothers, I think this would be a good one to do it. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's other classic Coen Brothers films out there, but this is one of their best.
Actually my first that I watched, so that might be why I'm a little biased.
And wasn't a great introduction?
Very much so.
Right.
I actually think it's a good introduction too. That's the thing.
This movie hits a full strike in terms of bowling.
It's different, but it works. So
yeah, it doesn't even have to speak to you, and it can still be a 7.
Yeah, it's a good movie for a person that doesn't think. That's a very good
even if you don't fully get it, you'll still appreciate it.
Oh, I get it.
It's a funny movie. See, I mean, it works. I mean, it's for even even if you don't like it as much as me and Dean do, I think you'll still like it because it's still fun. It's still enjoyable. You know.
I really enjoy the dry humor that's thrown about. Like it is kind of a bumbling detective film. Like,
fuck it, dudes. Let's go bowling.
Yeah, oh yeah, what condition my condition was in.
I woke up this morning with the sun down, shining in. I found my mind in a brown paper bag. But then
heavy shredding. All right.